Last episode, you saw us doing all things Morgantown.
Dude, look at that. Isn't that just like... Doesn't that just seem like just depressive?
Well, at some point I looked at the map and I saw that we were less than an hour from Uniontown, Pennsylvania. One of those old cities in western PA I've always wanted to visit. Because in 1940, the population peaked at 21,000 and now it stands at 9,000. So those are my favorite kind of cities to go and look at. But Matt said we're going to pass Point Marion along the way, a place I had never heard of, but he said it would be the perfect city to make a video about. And since it's only 10 miles from Morgantown, just over the border in Pennsylvania, I said, let's go, man, because I know all these little cities built on these confluences of these rivers were all very loved and have all been forgotten by time. And the whole point of this channel and me traveling across America is to document these towns, these exact towns like Point Marion, and show them to you so you can see what this country really looks like and see the real people that live here. So let's go to Point Marion.
That's the town.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's it.
What's all this over here?
That's like little residential stuff, but you'll see.
All right.
I mean, we'll drive through there too.
You're gonna be at my bar tonight, and I'll bet you with your new boyfriend, am I right? How could you expect any less when you're wearing that dress and you're standing on my turf, making a fool of me? Well, I got nowhere to go, everyone's run out of dough.
Here we are pulling into Point Marion, Pennsylvania. To understand this town, you have to look at its place on the map. It is situated at the exact confluence of the Monongahela River and the Cheat River. This point of land has been vital to crossroads for centuries. Indians were living here as far back as 1050 AD. Long before it became this bustling industrial hub later in the 18th and 19th centuries, this area was a key crossing point for the indigenous peoples and early explorers, French explorers, then English and German explorers, who recognized the value of these two intersecting waterways. The current version of the town began to take shape in the late 18th century. It was founded by a Revolutionary War veteran who saw the potential of this waterfront location. For the early settlers, these rivers weren't just nice landmarks to take pictures in front of, they were the highways. And Point Marion became a natural transit point for settlers pushing westward and served as the gateway where travelers could trade, rest, and navigate the treacherous but essential water routes of the Allegheny Highlands. As the 19th century progressed, the river shifted from transit lanes to industrial arteries. The discovery of the natural resources nearby, I mentioned in my last video, glass and coal transformed Point Marion. By the early 1900s, it had become a powerhouse of the glass manufacturing industry. The confluence that once hosted flatboats now supported massive factories. You'll see them later along the banks, which fueled the town's growth and drew workers from across the globe to build a community rooted in craftsmanship and riverborne trade. Unfortunately, today the smokestacks of the boom have fallen. There's old coke plants up in the mountains that have been abandoned. But the legacy of Point Marion remains etched into the landscape. And it really stands as a testament to these early American pioneers who just saw two rivers and built something that even today still stands hundreds of years later.
Homeless guy with a staff. That's it, huh?
That's it. I mean, we can turn back around and go down that street.
Yeah, can we do that?
Yeah.
Well, the old
Look
supermarket.
at this thing. What the?
This old supermarket's cooked.
I found a cool story about some of the early settlers of Point Marion. So an example of the region's early frontier settlement is the Forks of Cheat Baptist Church, founded just south of the point where the Monongahela and Cheat Rivers meet. So this church was formed by Reverend John Colby of Ireland on November 7th, 1775. The original log structure was burned down during a Native American raid in the late 1700s, but rebuilt in 1803. Now sitting on the present-day West Virginia side of the state line, the church's name refers to the point of modern-day Point Marion. Notably, this is the oldest still active church west of the Allegheny Mountains, and each July, members celebrate it by flying the British Union Jack flag to celebrate its colonial-era founding. As for the reverend that founded all this, in 1882, his wife and children were massacred across the river in neighboring Greene County by Indians. So this is a real reflection of Western Pennsylvania frontier life. There used to be a Fort Marion power plant, but it closed in 1967. Now there's a Longview power plant. That's what you saw before, spewing out all that pollution out into the sky. That was built in 2011, and that's one of the jobs around here. There's that, or you could commute to Morgantown, I guess, for healthcare, or maybe Uniontown, because even though Uniontown has lost a lot of population, it's still a major hub for the area.
This is it, man. This is Point Marion.
Oh, look at all that smoke from the power plant out there.
Yeah. I did body removals up here a couple times. I went to a house, actually.
George Washington actually came through this town once too. It was before the Revolutionary War, but he was going to check out land given to him from the British for his efforts in helping them expel the French in the 1750s. As you can see, this town has fallen on some hard times, but most of the houses are in good shape. There's not trash on the yard. It looks like a decent middle-class town out here in the woods of Pennsylvania. And down here is the old shell of the House Glassworks factory. You'll see a picture in a minute of what this place used to look like, but this was the economic engine for this town. Everybody in these houses could just walk down this descending hill right to work at this factory. It's right on the banks of the Monongahela River. I found old documents of people whose uncles and grandparents had worked there. This seems like it was a lovely town, a really tight-knit community. And unfortunately, this thing is now out of business. But this was a major job creator back then.
Dude, that was what?
They used to dump whatever they made right into that river, bro.
That wasn't, yeah, dude. This was this was probably the industry that was here.
Yep.
Everybody used to walk to work, right?
100%.
Like this guy was like, I got to go to my shift. I'll be back. He would come home for lunch.
Yeah. His wife would be like, I can see you. Don't go to the tavern. Don't go to that Elks Club.
Unfortunately for Point Marion, like a lot of these towns I see out here in the Appalachians, the population is significantly decreased. I mean, in the 1950s, there were about 2,000 people living here. Today, there's about 1,000 people living here. So I would imagine most of this town will be a ghost town within the next 10 to 15 years. But while we still have it and the buildings are still standing, I am so glad I got to see it, because what a window into a life that has passed us by. Unfortunately for America, we keep letting these things go and keep neglecting them. Soon they're all going to be a memory that we're going to tell our kids about. But we need to figure out a way to preserve these places, especially places like Point Marion, places that produce nothing but soldiers to go to World War II, come back here and build this town with their bare hands, work hard, build a nice house for their family. That's the American dream. That's the America we're going for. And one of these days, we're going to kill these politicians and force them to bring it back. How dope is Point Marion? That's cool, right? There are so many towns like that across this country, lots in Pennsylvania and West Virginia. And I want to showcase every single one of them. I cannot do it though, unless you like and subscribe. Please subscribe. I got monetized on Facebook 2 weeks ago. I posted probably 600 times. I've gotten like 40 cents. Please help me out. It costs you nothing. Just hit subscribe, because I want to keep doing this. I want to keep showcasing these towns that everybody skips. Nobody goes to Point Marion. Why don't people go to Point Marion? Point Marion's cool as hell. I'm going to Point Marion. I'm going to all these towns. Help me out. If you really want to help me out, you could buy one of my books. It's going to be down below linked. And I got a new one coming out June 25th. It's a book of all new poems. They're sick. There's some award-winning poems. There's some poems that'll make you cry. They've been published up and down, nominated for push cards to other online magazines. You can Google me and read some of them. Help me out. Like, subscribe, because I'm going to keep going. This road is mine. I'm going to showcase all these towns. I'm going to go to every town in America. I'm going to spend the rest of my life doing this shit, and I want to show you what it's like. And if you're in Europe, you should really be clicking like and subscribe, because you don't have anything like Point Marion back in Italy, back in France. Get out of here with that shit. So help me out. I love you guys. We're going to Uniontown next. I know I said that last time, but I had to give you Point Marion. We're going to Uniontown next, all right? Peace out. Say goodbye, Josie. Goodbye.